Hey everyone, it's your boy Graphic back with another video, and today we're going to go over the Apex Legends top 5 tips for all players. Whether you are a beginner or just trying to push yourself to a higher rank, these tips will be a great way to improve your rank in Apex Legends. As long as you are able to become a better player at Apex Legends, you are able to become a better player at all FPS shooter games. So these tips apply to almost every FPS game, but specifically, like I said, Apex Legends. Firstly, we will go over something pretty obvious. However, it's a tip that requires some attention, as I have seen so many new players and long-time players even come across the common mistake of pushing an enemy up a mountain or a hill. Unless you are really that much better than the opposing team on top of that mountain or, that hill, you need to back down and find an alternative route. So my tip number one to you guys is use the high ground. Using the high ground is easily one of the best ways you can win your match without even having that much aim or even skill. As you see in these, clips you're watching, I actually don't have that amazing aim or that much skill involved in this game, but you're able to see by some of the routes I take or, teamwork that is involved, we're able to take, quite a few victories. So make sure if you and your team decide to push, the high ground in games from the low ground, taking those fights above you, you need to push together as a team and make it a team decision, not one by one. You'll be able to decide what fights are worth taking shots at, and you're going to be able to spectate fights and kind of understand, when you want to take that fight if you're on top of that mountain. So make sure you use the high ground to your advantage. If you get up on that high ground, you're able to take a little to no risk of dying. If you're down, your team has time to get back up, and if you are damaged, you have time to recover your shield. So just make sure you have that, chance of getting the high ground like you see here, and take the time to reload, and, you get to shoot down at your enemies. It's just an obvious way of, having the advantage. So right here, you're able to see I'm just getting free shots, get a assistant knockdown there. Now we're able to push down because we actually got that kill. As my aim is struggling here as I fall down, you're able to tell that since we have the high ground, we're fine. We can push this. And it's just that going to show that, you don't need aim to win all these fights, because my aim looks awful here. But we're going to go into tip number 2 now. Tip number 2 is rotating. Rotating ties in a little bit with tip number 1. But as you know, Apex Legends is a fast-paced game where you really need to make sure you are rotating fast and early. Using the closing circles to your advantage can really help you find the high ground, like mentioned before. Make sure you really take advantage of knowing where your next circle is going to be and set up in a position where you have an impact on upcoming fights. However, make sure you have the opportunity to back down and rotate out of the area if needed. Within seconds of the next circle appearing, make sure you are in a safe spot to check out the map and begin rotating accordingly. Tip number 3, abilities. Your abilities in Apex Legends has a huge impact on how you should play. Each character has certain abilities that will help you play to your playstyle much better than others. For example, Pathfinder's grappling hook, zipline gun, and inside knowledge abilities are the best abilities you can have for rotating fast and early. All characters have positive and negative characteristics to their size, abilities, and or speed. Understanding your abilities and playing the playstyle your character best suits will help you have more fun in more games. Tip number 2 for you guys is going to be strafing. Now that we talked about some of the more strategic ways to make your gameplay effective, we are going to talk about maybe one of the most important mechanics in Apex Legends. Strafing. Moving side to side while shooting or not shooting, focusing on making yourself a hard target will give you a much better chance at surviving that fight or running away successfully. One thing you can do to practice is by moving side to side while shooting. And after a few deaths, you will be able to start realizing what works best for you. Like I said earlier, this also pertains to running away from a fight. If you're looking to run away from a fight and you're either outnumbered or just can't seem to win, your best bet is to run straight away while dodging side to side and give the opponents a hard target. Tip number 1, repetition. The one thing that will make you better than every other player in Apex Legends is repetition. Playing this game daily or every chance you get will obviously make you a better player and, have a better understanding of the game and your character's abilities. As well as you get, that movement down or the aiming down, you're going to be good to go. You just need to follow some of these common mistakes and tips. The most common mistake while using a repetition method is to get into a game and hide on a mountain or go to places where not many players, really are, because you want that high final placing. Obviously, this isn't a great way to get better aim, movement, or a feel for your character's specific abilities. Decision-making mid-fight is another great skill you learn from repetition, from fight after fight. I suggest you try and apply these 5 tips in your next match, and I can guarantee you will start to see some sort of progress, whether it's more damage per game, more kills per game, or more wins per game. Have fun and enjoy yourself while ranking up in Apex Legends. This was your boy Graphic with the top 5 Apex Legends tips, and I'll see you guys next time. Abilities. As well as